It's that he just gets in the zone and he's just like,
yeah. He's definitely very much in the zone, and he needs to be squaring off against Hakii. Right now, ranked #1 in Austin. Him, Pee-wee, and Sassy kind of run the gauntlet around things in the Austin area in general. So it's great that so many top players from that team could make it out here as well. I'm definitely excited to see what he can do. Hakii himself, a Shockwave winner, actually, for the Shockwave that we were unable to stream.
oh, yeah, that's right.
But of course, JaySon has been a winner himself on Shockwave. So I think, like, as far as Shockwave wins go, I think JaySon has a slight advantage, maybe a 2-win advantage.
That being said, JaySon has an advantage on how often he can come
Exactly, exactly.
So, we'll see. Jutsu, you better not drink my squirt.
And this is actually nuts for a lot of reasons. The main kicker here being the fact that this is our 3rd and 4th seed at this tournament that are fighting for 8th place. It's absolutely insane to get into the top 8. That's even crazier. That's even crazier. Either way. Of course, with a character like Mewtwo, the big thing you have to be worrying about as Fox is just that range, especially if you're going to be making a lot of these more grounded approaches in general. You have to be aware that up tilt as well as the down tilt hitbox. Right there, though, JaySon just cutting through the range like a hot knife through butter. Going ahead and scooping up one of the stocks in the process. Hakii retorting back with the forward air, getting out of the up tilt string from JaySon. He's going to need to figure out a creative way to close the stock out, and that's the creativity I like. Just before he lands, you notice he puts the fists out. The darkness, scooping below the ground, and then getting the back throw to go ahead and take the stock.
Yeah, oddly enough, Mewtwo's aerials are what really define his ground game. Or at least fighting other people on the ground game. That forward air is great when faced with the short hop, and
a bit of mistiming from Hakii, unable to get the edge guard that he was seeking. Hakii himself, of course, does have a Fox that he employs as well. So I think of all the people in this room who have knowledge about this matchup, he may be one of the finest.
Yeah, and of course, one of the things that we like to talk about Hakii is he used to play Lucas. He's very good at working with his awkward double jumps and incorporating that spacing, which is very important with those kinds of characters up against, you know, a more traditional character like Fox who doesn't have a huge double jump and such. The thing about the spacing on that is more so important when you're on the stage than off the stage. Coming back onto the stage off the stage, the double jump is just recovery. It's not very good for positioning, but on stage you can get some really nasty punishes.
Right now, the only person on stage is JaySon, who isn't really giving Hakii any chances to actually make it back onto the stage itself. You're seeing Hakii trying to use the long range of the tail to swat away as he's recovering. But JaySon, he already has seen this before from U2, and he understands just to keep the shield held whenever Hakii's trying to make it back onto the stage.
Yeah, it's interesting that JaySon is doing such a good job of keeping Hakii from getting any kind of stage control, considering that Fox himself cannot actually edge guard. What a great stall from JaySon.
And an even better
great tech!
And
he gets the kill with the side B!
I have never seen that. In the entirety that I have been commentating, I've never seen the illusion being used as a KO option in this game.
I cannot believe it.
Not like that, anyways. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's go ahead and see this one more time. Off the stage, and oh man.
So
look
great
at this
tech here, and then side B, and somehow...
I just...
What was that tournament where Mango accidentally side B'd and it worked out? Because that's exactly what that was.
I feel like that's almost like every tournament he does it.
Okay, that's fair. But you know the one.
I know the one.
Anyways, so game 2 now, going back to Battlefield. I think Hakii was just kind of like, all right, I should have won that one, so let me just prove it.
Now, and plus, these kinds of layouts work really well for Mewtwo. You can do all sorts of teleport shenanigans. The range that his tail covers is going to allow him to cover the platforms very easily. It's just a really solid stage, I feel, for sword characters, and with Mewtwo being that other sword character thanks to the tail, it definitely benefits him. As you can see right there, the up tilt swatting underneath and scooping JaySon up. It gives Hakii the time to start charging up that Shadow Ball. I want to see if he's going to be using it off stage to edge guard aggressively, perhaps as a punish if we see JaySon committing to a Firefox early.
Yeah, and it'll be very important for him to not mistime that Shadow Ball, especially if JaySon's expecting it. That was very well timed, and of course JaySon not expecting it at point-blank range.
Yeah, incredibly well spaced In addition, it looked like he was just outside of the range of a standard get-up attack. Perhaps just trying to react to almost everything with the Shadow Ball and then having the time, if necessary, to react to the roll option.
I gotta say, Hakii's been getting a lot of mileage out of these neutral airs. It looks like JaySon just doesn't have an answer for it when Hakii gets that neutral air up and starts drifting in on him. And of course it is. I mean, Fox does not have any true disjoints, and therefore that's a very difficult move to deal with.
And Hakii, let's not forget, playing Mewtwo is playing one of the lightest characters in this game. Not floating like a lot of people may think, but certainly on the incredibly light side. That means that JaySon doesn't need very much more, but will he even have a shot? That's a 2-stock in retribution for Hakii.
Yeah, really unfortunate SD there. I'm not really sure what happened, but it tends to happen with the characters like Fox, you know, Captain Falcon, Falco, these fast-falling characters that, you know, you just try to get out of a combo and then you're just gone. So game 3 is on Dreamland, and this is something that I was going to touch on in the last game, is that Hakii kept it on the battlefield as opposed to going Dreamland. I do agree that both of these characters love the tri-platform layout, but going to battlefield instead of Dreamland for Hakii at least is much better, because when you're on a stage like Dreamland, a fast character like Fox has a lot of room to maneuver around, get control of center stage, and generally just play a little bit of keep away if he has to. So it's going to be very important for Hakii to try to minimize that as much as he can.
Right, try to figure out ways, close the distance, but at the same time set up that essential zoning game that he has with the tilts.
Yeah, it's really hard. I mean, Hakii, like you said, he does have the tilts, he does have better range than Fox, but the problem is getting close enough without making it seem obvious. And what he's doing right now is he's just going to try to keep JaySon in the corner. That's really what you have to do on a bigger stage like this.
And doing it with like really safe pressure tools as well. The way that he's fading in for the initial hit of the forward air, but then fading back as soon as he sees the hit confirm on the shield.
Yeah, he's been doing a really good job of getting JaySon to sit in the corner. What a great drift away to get that forward air. And punish?
Oh,
yes.
Baby. Beautiful with the down air. Hakii now is stock away from getting into this top 8 bracket.
If you play a good edge guarder like Mewtwo, you love a Fox recovery. So JaySon needs to find a way to close out the stock quickly, because at a percent like this, Mewtwo will be able to rack up that damage relatively quickly, especially if he gets that down tilt or up tilt forward throw, which does do 13% damage, which is better than some characters' aerials.
Man, I thought that we were going to be seeing JaySon react to Hakii going off of the stage and then maybe punish with the back air, but Hakii's prepared for that. You see him turn around, trying to set that confusion out in order to trip JaySon up. JaySon having a tough time.
Yeah,
looking for the up air. Hakii not giving him the air dodge, instead using the double jump to get away back to this ledge and getting the extra damage with the Shadow Ball. This is looking like a nightmare for JaySon at this point.
Yeah, Hakii's using a lot of the more unorthodox things about the stage to his advantage, especially if you see, well, I mean, he gets the wall jump there, which is really nice. But another thing that he's using to his advantage is the flowers right in front. It's really easy to mask a lot of what Mewtwo does, and especially that down tilt, which is important. But forward air will seal it at a percent like that. Hakii with two stocks in retort to JaySon, and he will be moving on the top 8.
And that's really, really rough to see, for sure. You know, and that's such a surprise, first and foremost, that we would be seeing people in this position. Again, JaySon's such an incredible player, Hakii himself. To see that those two were duking it out to get into top 8, that very well could have been something like grand finals.
Yeah. And it has been before, I think. I think JaySon and Hakii have been in grand finals before.
Yeah, I definitely need to do a little bit more research on the head-to-head between the two.
This is something I used to